Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television talk show where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning, you know what time, 2 p.m. on the Eastern Time Zone. As I get to ride home with you in the afternoon, you can find it at Fox News affiliates. We are syndicated on Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire, and that's on thenewscasters.com. All the social media sites, you just can't drag me off of Facebook, John.
And you can't name all the affiliates that you have either, because that would take up the whole show.
But you can find us, well, through here is who you know. It's this guy right here. His name is John Merrill. John is our former Alabama Secretary of State. Did such a great job. As a matter, he won't brag on himself, so I do it for him. I'm like his big sister, you know what I mean? So he was, I'm telling you, other governors and people, Secretary of States, were asking you to, what did you do to bring such integrity into the voting system within Alabama?
Well, you're so kind to mention that, and we had a lot of success in making sure that Alabama was the #1 state in the nation for election integrity, security, and transparency after the 2020 election. Of course, I was asked to actually be the chair of the National Commission on Election Integrity and to try to move the conversation forward on things that needed to be addressed so that we would not have the same kind of experience that we had in the 2020 election. And I'm honored to say that we had a lot of success in passing legislation in different states around the union. The president was actually excited about the work that we had been able to do, and President Biden's administration did not push back on what we were trying to do, because we were just trying to enhance election security efforts, and it went really, really well, and so we were very pleased with the results.
Well, we were too, I'll tell you, and it was nice for Alabama to be put up there as one of the recommendations on doing it right, and it's because of your leadership making that happen. Absolutely. Now, you are also with Waggoner Engineering right now, and you've been like visiting all of the counties and keeping us all up in.
You know, as of today, since January the 1st, we've been to 44 counties for more than 257 unique visits to those counties, trying to promote the great work that we're doing for Waggoner throughout the state and trying to transform communities. The biggest thing that we can do is to help a community identify what their needs are based on what they would like to achieve, and then when we're able to do that, we can move forward and try to help them secure resources from the federal government, from the state government, or utilize existing local resources that they have to concentrate on those areas for water and sewer work, for road and bridge work, park design, long-range planning, anything that's important to them, and ensuring that what they want to do and what they need to do can be accomplished with the resources that are available.
Well, and I love your leadership on this as well, because I see a different Gadsden than I saw years ago. Now, Gadsden and Anniston, where I grew up, used to be in severe competition with each other. Now, back in the day, we had the Goodyear plant.
That's
and
right.
Another one, I forgot what the Gulf State.
That's
Steel,
correct.
I believe, was out here at that time. Huge competition to the Calhoun County area. Kind of went down a little bit, but now you've been focusing a lot.
Well, both of the communities did, but one of the things that you've seen, Anniston's leadership has still not been where it needed to be. They've had peaks and valleys with mayoral leadership and council leadership, but there's still been a lot of infighting, where what has happened here in the city of Champions in Gadsden, Alabama, with Mayor Ford's election after the 2022 mayoral election, you've seen Mayor Ford be able to take this city back to where it needs to be, which is in the economic and educational center of Northeast Alabama. there is still a competition with Calhoun County. That's a healthy
It's always
competition,
gonna be.
and it's going to continue to be there. But Gadsden State, with their new president, President Allen there, as well as the work that's being done by Mayor Ford, being done by Mayor Joe Taylor at Rainbow City, other unique leaders in the municipal area here, has really helped define the growth that we see coming and that we know will come.
It will. And another thing that's really important, this is a great point right here. This mayor actually works as a team effort with other mayors. You and I have talked about that before. You know, in another small town, Sardis City, it's a very small town, and a tornado hit and it just wrecked their roads. There were trees, so much cleanup. They did not have the material or the machinery to do that, but Mayor Ford and the other mayors got together.
Well, and the
sent
county
help.
commissioners too, and you've really seen that with the super site for economic development that the groups have come together to promote. You've also seen a separation of boundaries that we've seen before kind of disappear in certain areas, which needs to,
It needs to.
because those artificial boundaries that are set aside by municipalities and by the counties, if they restrict economic development and growth, commercial development and growth, residential development and growth, it's a problem for those communities. And when you have eliminated those concerns, then you can move forward as a community as a whole. Because the thing that people can forget is that if someone wants to worship in another community other than the one they live, they get in their car and they drive to that church. If somebody wants to shop in another area, whether it's purchasing a car, like we do here at Twin Cities, or if it's another grocery store in another area, they're able to go and do that. And so we don't need to create artificial boundaries that make it harder for them to be able to purchase where they want to. But what we need to do is to make it easier for them to get access to the products that they would like to purchase.
Absolutely. Well, how do you work out, okay, because a lot of folks would say only shop in my town.
Right.
Because of the tax revenue.
That's right.
So how do you get past that?
That's right. Well, the thing that you have to understand is when you get ready to go buy a vehicle, if you get ready to go buy groceries, if you get ready to go buy pharmacy items, when you go to certain kinds of stores, they are less hesitant to help you if they are community-based stores. If they are nationally chained stores, then they have to run it up the pole to see if they can allocate some resources that they have for those particular community purchases. And so you have to understand that when you're crossing over those lines, the people in Southside go to Southside stores to sell football program advertisement, baseball signs, basketball signs, softball signs, those things that will go up at the ball fields in those communities. And if you don't have those people committed to what you're trying to do, you're going to have lower revenue to promote your schools and those things that you're trying to promote.
And another thing too, especially when it's in your own community, you know, if you've got a good relationship with the community, there are some store owners, they feel like family. You know,
They are family.
You want to go in and you
That's
want to
right.
talk to them, you want to share, you know, your family, what have you been doing. It's just a great way to do business.
Well, one of the things that we've talked about repeatedly is Kaylee's effort over at the Gadsden Mall. And even though they have some chain stores in there as well as locally owned stores, I think it's important to remember that as a unit, they're able to increase the buying power and increase the shopping power for the customer as well as for the community as a whole, because they have removed some of those artificial boundaries that we've seen.
Yeah, and then another added value is if you own a small business, Christmas season coming up, you can rent just at Christmas time and have all kinds of customers come in and buy your products and services. She's getting in contact with Kaylee Johnson about that. But that's something she can do other folks can't do.
Well,
It's just
and
a
look,
mall added
Christmas will be
value.
around on us right the next time we wake up. It's really amazing
Can't wait,
how
John.
fast the calendar has turned this year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I would have the Christmas tree up all year. Phil did, he says, one thing you can't do, you can do anything you want to this house, but not the Christmas tree all year
Right.
long. So we can do that. But talking about the City of Champions, right here, Nakalula Falls, man, man, what a facelift.
Yo, they're doing great work out there, and the mayor has made that a point of emphasis because it's such a tourist attraction. Draws people not just from Alabama, but it draws people from all over the South and other parts of the nation who want to see what's happening in Gadsden at Nakalula Falls, celebrate the natural beauty that exists there, and then when you take the walking trails and you're able to explore some things on your own, it really makes your own experience a unique one.
You know, that's where I was when I found out I was going to have my son.
Oh my goodness.
Now, this is back in the day, okay, you had to go to the doctor and then they'd have to run the test. It would take hours to find out. So I was just kind of hanging around at Nakalula Falls, had a phone booth. I picked up the phone and I said, well, what happened? She said, you killed the rabbit. It was something that you didn't necessarily kill a rabbit, but that meant you were going to have a baby. So I was right there at Nakalula Falls and I found out. So it's a special place for me. And also, Brad was actually born in the hospital here in Gadsden.
Oh, is that right?
Uh-huh. Yeah, so I got some ties in. I'm glad to see Gadsden's doing such a good through your help. But now you guys are a team.
Yes, we are, and we love working with Mayor Ford. We love working with the council. We love working with Heath Williamson and all the fine people here, Chad Harrod at Gadsden Water and Sewer. And currently, we're trying to get some things in the federal budget that will help Gadsden Water and Sewer be able to rehabilitate some of their delivery systems and will help them be stronger as a provider of water and sewer services in this part of the state.
And it's extremely important, too, if you are a small business coming in, especially a restaurant. I mean, you got to have the water in the sewer. It's got to be working.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely, as it goes. I wanted to talk with you just for a few minutes. Well, let's go into a commercial break before I get started on this tangent. And this is about trade schools. And there's a good one here, okay? And I've got some questions for you about that. Let's go into a commercial break. We shall return in just a few minutes. Queen City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
I'm excited to announce our Christmas extravaganza is finally here. Get this season's flannel sheets for as low as $59.98. They won't last long, so get them while you can. Our famous My Slippers, they haven't been on sale for over a year. Regularly $119.98, now only $59.98. Our 6-piece towel sets are back in stock with extremely limited quantities, only $29.98. With hundreds of My Pillow products, there's something for everyone on your Christmas list. Bathrobes, duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save on all My Pillow products. For example, flannel sheets for as low as $59.98, or our 6-piece towel sets, just $29.98. But that's not all. I'm extending our 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st of 2025. Plus, all orders over $75 or more ship absolutely free.
The only place I buy my beef is Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama. Their cattle is born and raised on their ranch, grass and grain fed, and you can feel confident when you serve your family and friends because their beef is all natural and no antibiotics or hormones are added. You can buy whole beef or perhaps go in with family or friends and buy half. Their customer service is number one as they take care of the delivery to their local processor and can deliver to your home for a small added fee. They also offer herd replacement heifers. I always call Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama for my beef specialty recipes and cookouts, and you can too. Food shortages are increasing, so buy local by calling 256-523-6462. That's 256-523-6462.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer.
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community
Good afternoon. We're back. My name is Donna, and I am your host of Donna's Edge Television Talk Show. Thank you so much for watching. Continue sending emails. You know those make my day. When I get emails, I just melt because you care enough to send me requests, and you want to know about jobs in your area. You want to know, I live in Tucson, Arizona. So what happening in Alabama or South Carolina, does that apply to me too? Yeah, probably does. You got to get the right folks in at election time, and that's going to be coming up pretty soon. But I want to talk to you about AI. I saw something on Fox News. We're Fox News affiliates. And so I saw something on AI about the explosion of jobs that can come about, and this is through tech programs, through tech jobs. How can we give more encouragement to the kids that are growing up right now? I mean, there are jobs waiting on you. If I were you, if I were a parent and I had a kid in the 9th grade, I'd be working on that right now.
Well, look, the thing that we have done over the last couple of generations is not place enough emphasis on real work and how real work can actually provide the kind of lifestyle, the kind of livelihood that people want and that people desire, which is to have an income that will allow them to have vacations, purchase a home that they want, purchase a vehicle that they want, be able to provide for educational opportunities for their children, whether it be in the technical area or whether it be in the higher educational realm. It does not matter, but for far too long, we have concentrated only in the area of higher education and having a quality educational degree where when you graduate from college you'll be able to do X, Y, and Z. There are a lot of people, many of whom work here at Twin Cities, that make more money than I made when I was the Secretary of State, that make more money than I made when I was working in public education as a spokesperson for the Tuscaloosa County Schools, make more money than I made when I was an advancement officer for the Economic Development Authority in Tuscaloosa County, because those people have a trade. They understand what it takes to get the work done and why their jobs are so important. And people can look down at folks that actually work for a living, whether it's the people that do custodial maintenance, whether it's people that actually pick up trash, whether it's people that do plumbing work, brick masonry, carpentry, all of those things, and they can make fun of them right until the time they get their paychecks each month. And also they can make fun of them right until the time that they have a problem at their home, and then they have to call one of those people and then wait for them to be able to come to help them repair whatever it is that they need assistance with, because they're in such demand. And so they can actually command whatever salary that they want to command or work in an hourly basis. So I think it's very important to introduce those things to young people when they're young. And I don't mean in the 7th or 8th grade, I mean when they're children, so they can see what kind of impression they can make on them, what kind of experiences they can have while they're young, so they can become interested to the point where they want to pursue that as a career. And when we're able to do that effectively, those young people will adopt the mentality that this is important. And when they see that, it doesn't matter what other people think about it. It makes a difference in their lives, and then they want to be the ones that are actually doing that work. The Bible says that all work is honorable. We believe that, and we have to embrace that, and then we have to promote that.
But you know something, you can still have it all, have a trade job and a degree. And this is how I know this can happen. There are kids who actually walk across the stage to get their high school diploma. They're doing dual enrollment, those are the smart kids right there. And they walk away with a 2-year degree while they're getting their high school diploma. So you can have it all. And another thing you can do, you can got to start out at the bottom with any company, okay? I always have. You never start at the top. It's important to know the bottom. You know why? Because that way you know how the whole cycle works. So you can go work for a company, ask them if you want to, because everybody wants well-educated employees, right? Talk with your company and just ask them. Say, I'm thinking about going back to school again. I'd like to get my 2-year degree. Would you reimburse me for that?
You know, it's
do.
interesting, Donna, that you mentioned that just the way you did, because when I was a freshman and a sophomore at university, I actually did congressional internships in Washington. So I worked for my Congressman, Bill Nichols, who represented the 3rd Congressional District, and Senator Hal Heflin, who was one of our 2 United States senators. And then in my junior and senior years, when I was vice president and president of student body at the University of Alabama, I actually worked university housing maintenance in those summers, which meant that I went to work every day, laying tile, laying carpet, cleaning tile, cleaning carpet, changing air filters, painting, doing work out in our residence halls where we cut shrubs and cut grass and did all of those things, because those things were important jobs that needed to be done. And one of the reasons why I was committed to doing that work was because I knew that once I graduated from the university, there was never going to be a time in my life that I was going to be able to go back and do that work, and for me to be able to relate to the work that those individuals were doing each and every day better prepared me to be in a stronger position to serve them once I started my career.
Absolutely. And I mentioned this earlier, I think a show a couple of years ago. Phil's brother Larry owned the big company and retired from it, decided he didn't want to do it anymore, and got a job at McDonald's. And we're all like, this is Mr. Business Executive, he's working at McDonald's. And I'm thinking, oh, he's taking over management or something like that. No, he wanted to start at the bottom, just to prove a point to the kids. You know, and so there he was, executive guy, working at McDonald's, flipping burgers. Of course, they moved him up the ladder pretty quick. And he said, not because of my experience, it was my work ethic. He said, because if there was nothing to do, I grabbed a broom and I swept the floors. He got bored easy. So that's what you do. You go into a company and you find something to do, and I promise you, people are watching you think are not watching. They're going to notice whether you're a slacker. They're going to notice whether you work hard.
Absolutely.
That's how you move up.
100%.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about we've got a great college here.
No doubt. Gadsden State, the leadership that's being provided in the community, the relationships between the K-12 groups, whether it be Gadsden City Schools, whether it be Etowah County Schools, those school systems that have embraced the opportunity to have their children learn in the Gadsden State Community College environment are the ones that are benefiting the most, because when they leave high school, they already have some accredited credentials that allow them to be able to go either to Gadsden State, the University of Alabama, Auburn, University of Alabama, Birmingham, Jacksonville State University, wherever it happens to be. They are better prepared than they would have been otherwise because they've already had that college training and that college background, and that foundation has been laid.
Well, I have an uncle who started out at Gadsden State, later went on to the University of Alabama, retired. Guess what he does now? Drives a school bus. You know, and now I'm going, you're driving a school bus? And he said, yeah, that's a good retirement plan out there when you drive a school bus. And then my aunt, who worked at Oxford High School as a lunchroom lady, has a wonderful retirement. Doesn't have to worry about money. I mean, she's got it going on. And there were people who would go make fun of the lunch lady. Well, guess who's laughing now?
That's right.
She
Absolutely.
is. But yeah, we got plenty of areas here. You know, you mentioned the Gadsden Mall. You mentioned Kaylee at the Gadsden Mall as well. I'm seeing a lot of movement out in that direction. The water is beautiful.
It is beautiful, and one of the things that the mayor is committed to doing is utilizing that as a resource for tourism and to draw folks, whether it be for fishing tournaments, whether it be for other recreational opportunities on the water, further development for restaurants, for businesses, for residential growth, where people can benefit from that natural beauty that's already in existence. And our firm has done some work there on Black Creek Parkway and also near the country club, so that those people that currently reside there and work in that area will have the kind of infrastructure development that they need in order to continue to grow.
I was glad to see the cleanup also in Attala. You know, Mayor Means has done a really good job. By the way, his son is a surveyor. We used him when we moved, and did a great job, by the way. But I was so glad to see that, because growing up, I remember seeing it just didn't seem as clean as Gadsden did. But now the downtown part is just like a Christmas card.
Well, it is, and you know, I think one of the things that has happened to both Gadsden and Attala is that because of the leadership that they've seen. You know, Joe Taylor in Rainbow City is a natural leader already, but having Mayor Ford and having Mayor Means, who served in the Alabama legislature as effective public servants, and now who serve as mayors in those communities, allow them to do some of the things that Mayor Taylor has been doing in Rainbow City for a long time in accessing resources at the state and federal level, but also utilizing the community's resources to move forward and to make sure that their people know that they are respected, that they have opportunities that other communities don't have, and that the way for them to continue to grow is to have that plan and execute that plan.
Absolutely. You know, in Rainbow City, if you're looking for date night, you don't have to spend a whole lot of money in a restaurant. All of the restaurants have that beautiful, beautiful vision of the water.
That's right.
So it's got it going
Without
on.
question.
Less than 2 minutes left in this segment. What would you like to tell everybody before you go, John?
Look, I think it's so important to remember to shop locally, to interact locally with your businesses, whether it's purchasing a car like here at Twin Cities, whether it's shopping at the local grocery store, convenience store, but also at the markets, especially farmers market, where we have farmers and we have gardeners that bring their products each and every week to be considered there. Just like in Gadsden, where they have First Fridays, the first Friday of each month, to be able to come and to interact with your neighbors and your friends as they're walking the streets with you and listening to music and looking at the local vendors and the local opportunities for purchases that are available. Whenever we're able to do that, it brings the community closer together and lays a stronger foundation for growth economically, socially, and professionally.
Absolutely. Make sure you tell Cindy hello for me. I know she's the lady behind. There's another lady that's behind. Let's see if we can get her to come. Oh, she's looking at me like, I dare you. Never mind. We'll work it in sometime, okay? I promise you. But anyway, she's definitely a huge help to you.
Oh, no doubt about it. We couldn't be as successful
Karen.
as we are.
I can at least say her name, can I?
That's
Can I say
right.
Karen?
That's right.
Karen is a wonderful lady. I'm going to tell you what. She makes sure that you and I are on top of
No
these
doubt
appointments.
about it.
Yeah.
No
I don't know
doubt.
what we'd do without her, do you?
No, we don't. And I'll tell you this, if it were not for her at Waggoner, we would not be doing the great work that we're able to do because of all the things that she does to make sure that everything goes so right and well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for watching. Continue sending those emails, Donna at donnasedge.com. I treasure them, promise.